Shutiana. Oh my god, man.
Are you a proxy? Thank you so much for proxy. I'm so sorry. I thought Bruce's proxy was going to get here later in the day. No. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
Mark this over closely. Oh, since you got some chairs, you can please. You can be my proxy.
That's wild. You have two presentations.
Go ahead. Thank you. I'm not your
They're also emailing it to me, so I don't understand.
That's what I just did.
401?
Did you like run across campus or something? Nice.
We're missing it. I'm going to ask that everyone kind of take their seat now, if possible. We've got a bit of a longer meeting for today, so I want to make sure that we can run through it. So I'm going to jump right in, and I'm going to call this meeting to order at what I believe is 4:02 p.m. All right. Then in that case, we're going to jump right in with the roll call. So, do you mind if I borrow a pen? Mind if I borrow a pen? Thank you. All right. Senator Gieber-Miriam. Senator Gieber-Miriam. Not present. All right. Senator Sharaff. Thank you. Senator Larson. Thank you. Senator Woldekaiden. Thank you. Senator David Wing.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Dermenji. Thank you. Senator Victor Wynn. Thank you. Senator Roberts.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Wenzel by proxy.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Ibarra. Senator Ibarra. Nope. Senator Nickwin. Senator Nickwin. Nope. Also, if people are on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. And then Senator Narala.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Berhanu. Senator Berhanu. Nope. All right. Senator Destin. Senator Destin. Destined over Zoom. Senator Atmaker. Senator Atmaker. All right. Senator Mendez Martinez. Senator Mendez Martinez. Over Zoom. Thank you. Senator Hawk. Senator Hawk. I do not see Senator Hawk. All right. Senator Ziegweed.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Mesta.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Parikh.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Tamim. Senator Tamim over Zoom. Senator Blanchard. Thank you. Senator Hansen.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Jha.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Roiger.
Here.
Thank you. Speaker Novak. Oh my gosh, that's me. President Zelmer.
Here.
Swag. And President Ibrahim.
Here.
Gosh, amazing. Yes, thank you very much. Next, we're going to jump straight into presentations. We've got two of them today. Our first presentation is from Grad Planner. If I will have the Grad Planner group, yes.
I have people contacting me by email asking for the Zoom ID, and I can't find it in any documents. Can somebody direct me to where I can find that?
Emma, do you have access to the Zoom?
When was it last
So the Zoom meeting number.
Did you send it to... Hey, Dustin, can you email it to me and I can get it, or could you email it to John, please?
Do you make a resolution?
No, the Zoom link.
Oh, I can, yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are we then waiting for the Grad Planner presentation to join via Zoom? Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
Then, what I'll have you do is yes, please.
Where should I stand? Where's the easiest spot?
Anywhere up at the podium, and then if you're willing to plug in.
Perfect.
Okay. And then for the sake of brevity, we allow for 10 minutes for presentations. If you need to have that extended, you may request so. But
Perfect. Well, hi everyone. Thanks for having me here today. My name is Lindsay Smith, and I am the Student Degree Planning and Completion Coordinator. I work in registration and academic records. And so today I'm just going to provide a brief overview of a new tool that's available to our undergraduate students. Is everyone able to see my... No, we can't see my screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll use that in a little bit. So Graduation Planner and Schedule Builder exist within the Min-State system for our undergraduate students. And this was turned on to our students here in Mankato on August 1st. So this is brand new, and we're sort of doing a soft rollout and introducing it to students in small groups, gathering a lot of feedback as we go as well. Grad Planner works alongside the student's degree audit, and it allows students to create an individualized path to graduation. So I'm going to just go over it really quickly, and then in your own time, if you'd love to test it out, I am taking any feedback and questions that people might have. So this is found in the same spot where you will go to find your degree audit within eServices. And then when you request a degree audit, and sometimes have to go through that 2 or 3 times to get to your audit, you can click on plans in this bar here. You'll also see that schedule option. I'm probably not going to have time to go over that for you today, but just know that we have an additional planning tool for scheduling classes available to students. It is not registration, it is planning. So after you create a plan, sometimes it takes a little bit to load because the system is pulling up your degree audit information, and it is looking at all of the progress that you've made, and it's also pulling up that grad plan. While that loads, I just want to let you know that I'm just going to show you a couple different ways to add courses to your plan and a few of the basic options. There are a lot of pieces to this tool that are available that I'm just not going to have time to go into today, partially because it's going to load for a little bit. Okay, so this is what that grad planner screen will look like for students. The degree audit is on the left-hand side, and this is based on your currently declared major and catalog year. So that degree audit will look, whoops, got too close. It'll look pretty close to what it's always looked like. But with Grad Planner, we have a new symbol on that degree audit within your plan. So it is purple, it is a calendar symbol, and it says PL. So as you're planning, you will see things go from turning red to hopefully you'll see your green, your blue, and now your purple as well. On the right-hand side is going to be that plan, and this is completely customizable. So it defaults to 4 years, and it does include summers by default, but you're able to delete semesters, add them back later if you want as well. It's pretty slick to use. You can just drop and drag courses over to the semester that you'd like to take them, and you'll start to see them pop up there as well. You can work with your advisor to add messages to your plan, which are helpful reminders. Things like apply to your program, begin applications to graduate school, apply to graduation, things like that. You can also add comments that might just be helpful notes between you and your advisor, or just for you to remember as you're planning out as you go. When you refresh after you start adding, you'll start to see those things turn purple, and you'll see the semester in which you've changed or you've added the course. So this, for example, is telling us spring 23 or fall 23. I'm hoping to take these classes. Again, it's not registering you for those classes. It's just giving you a great idea of when you want to take your classes, planning off of that degree audit so you know exactly what you need for graduation. You can also use this to explore other programs, for example. So you can create a what-if plan if maybe you're thinking about changing your major, and it'll take the classes that you've already taken, and you can plan what that might be like with a different program. Just a couple of other quick things. You can add courses if you just know the department abbreviation and the number as well, if that makes it easier for you. We do always recommend, though, that students be sure to check the information in the catalog. You can add courses to your plan that way as well. I want to be respectful of that 10-minute time limit. I feel like I'm talking really fast, but I'm wondering if anyone has any questions that I could answer right away.
I suppose then I will open it up if there are any questions. Senator Zigweed, do you have a question?
Yeah, so I was just going to say, how do you plan on informing students that this option is available? Like, how are we going to get this information out to students?
For sure. So right now, we are definitely doing more of a soft rollout on this. That's been the direction of the system office because they're continuing to train the schools and also take feedback. We do have a website up, and that is available for students to find information. It's titled Degree Planning and Completion Tools. I'm also working with IT right now to create a video that will be on the school social media channels that we can distribute. And then moving forward in future semesters, we'll definitely have more of an intentional plan with different majors and different groups of students.
Amazing, thank you. Senator Wing?
So will the registration office be able to see what classes people plan on taking in the future?
Yep.
I know there's been a variety of students who struggle with getting into the classes that they need to graduate if there's not enough interest expressed.
Yeah, that's a great question. Through the Schedule Builder tool, which is connected with this, we can look at course demand and also planned courses. So that is one way that we'll be able to see when students are planning certain courses semester by semester. Yep.
Amazing. Do we have any other questions? Any other questions? All right. It does not appear that we currently have any other questions. Did you have more for your presentation, or?
No, I kind of just wanted to be doing a quick overview here, but if anyone does have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, Lindsay Smith, lindsay.smith@mnsu.edu. Look me up. I'd be happy to meet with anyone one-on-one or do any other demos to small groups.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Oh, President Zelmer.
Yeah, just one comment. Senators, I hope, or anyone watching, I hope that you all use this platform, just test it out, recommend that some other people start to use it since it is a pilot and open for students to start using. That way, when it rolls out to all students, we'll make sure that all the kinks are already worked out for everyone, as well as it'd be nice just to kind of make sure that it's up to whatever your liking might be, and then we can let Lindsay know so she can get some more feedback from us.
Yep. And
Thank you for reaching out to students.
This is open to all undergraduate students now, so taking feedback from everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Then in that case, let's give a big round of applause. All right. Then next up, we have Students United. So, Students United, if you guys are available and have a presentation, please hook it in up there so that our lovely IT solutions can help you guys out with that. And then you will also be given 10 minutes to dock.
The USB-C might be up on the desk.
Yes.
Yeah, over there.
I also have one, if you want to use mine. Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Don't toss it, I can't.
Oh.
Sorry, I tossed it before you said something, sorry.
Hey, I did catch. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is very loud. I did catch it, so proud of myself there. Just give me 1 second. How's everyone doing today?
Very good. How are you?
I'm thriving. I'm here in Mankato. That's fun. This is like my 3rd time in Mankato. So, oh. Okay, there we go. It looked really bad on my screen. But hi everyone, I'm Kylie Weber. I use she, her pronouns, and I currently serve as the state chair of Students United. I do currently attend Winona State University, so please just bear with me as we have a little bit of rivalry there. So I just wanted to come present to you all about what Students United is working on, what we do for you all, and how you can get involved with us. So with that, also, I do talk very fast. I know you guys have a long meeting ahead, so if I'm ever talking too fast or you have any questions, holler at me, raise your hand, whatever you need to do to get my attention. but we'll go on. So what is Students United? So we are a nonprofit coalition that represents and advocates for all the students attending the 7 Minnesota State Universities. So Mankato, Winona, Southwest, Bemidji, Moorhead, Metro, all that good stuff. And we are recognized by the Minnesota State Office as well as the state of Minnesota as the official organization representing you all, which is really important as we have that state coalition making sure that we are represented and heard at a state level. So we're really unique in being able to have this organization that works for you all. So how exactly are we composed? So our board of directors is the 7 student body presidents of their appointees from the 7 universities. So then we have those 7 and then 3 student officers. So myself, a vice chair, and a treasurer were selected by the previous board. And then of course the board members are elected by their university. So President Zelmer sits as your all board members. She is elected by the student body, all that good stuff. And then when we come together as our 10 board members, we represent the 50,000 different students throughout our Minnesota state system. And there's a lot of power. Again, we're recognized by the system office and the state as your bargaining unit per se. So it is really great for our students to have that. So our values, we are really passionate about getting students to the decision-making table. So again, Minnesota State, our universities, they're the ones who are making decisions about what happens on our campuses, what happens with student fees. We should be at those tables. We should be able to advocate for ourselves, for our other students who maybe can't get there. And that is truly our mission on making sure not just on a system level, but a state and federal level as well. And then our vision is making an equitable higher education throughout Minnesota as well as throughout the nation as well. So any questions on anything that I've talked about so far? Also, Speaker Novak, if I'm like speaking out of turn and you're like, it's not time for questions.
Normally we'd like to save questions for the end. However, if you would like to open it up, I'm honestly perfectly fine with that.
Well, I have a slide for questions at the end, so I'll just go, and then you guys will have your
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so then this is not up there. So you are all a part of Students United. So we're not this different bargaining unit. You guys do pay a student fee that helps us to do the work that we do. So it's not just myself and President Zelmer and the board, it's all of you. You guys all have a position and power here on campus and throughout the system. So we don't want you guys acting like Students United is this thing that you're not a part of, because you are, you pay a fee. We want to hear back from you. We want to hear what you need on your campuses and through the system. So it's not just our board, but here is our board. Here's our handy little, so if you need any of our contact information, so again, I'm the state chair, and then those are all the different board members throughout the different campuses. So if you have a friend that's up at Bemidji and they're like, hey, there's this system policy that really frustrates me, say, oh, your board member is Kendra. Go connect with her, all that good stuff. So making sure you know not just your board member, not just the officers, but everyone that serves you, as we are the main person that gets to set our priorities. So we have a lot of work that we've done. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we don't want to negate the work that we have done in the past. So we've had a lot of wins at the system level, but ones that we like to highlight at the state and federal level. So our hunger-free campus funds are something that students have been really passionate about over the past several years. Mankato has been recipients of hunger-free grants as well as other campuses, and we're really proud of that and excited to continue that work. Double Pell Initiative, we're still working on it, but there's been some traction getting on doubling Pell Grants, which is great and exciting for our students. Huge progress has been made in student debt relief with the Biden administration announcing what they're working on. Again, still lots of work to be done, but we don't want to negate what we have done and what we're going to continue to do. So what are we going to continue to do? So our board, the 7 student body presidents or their appointees, are what set our system, state, and federal priorities for the year. So our state priorities is, again, unfortunately the legislature did leave a lot of work undone this last session. We're going to continue to push for them to support the supplemental budget request as well as their capital investment programs. Renters protections and transparency legislation is really important for our students, as a lot of students throughout the 7 universities are renters. We want them to feel supported and things like that. Like I said before, double Pell Grants are something that we're really passionate about and working on those, as well as open educational resources. So that's our state and federal. Some things that we're working on at a system level is, again, those hunger-free campuses and food shelves, basic needs resources, and menstrual equity. So all that good stuff. So we also have this other little side project or brainchild called the Student Debt Cancellation Fund. It was previously known as the Fuck Student Debt Campaign, but now it's shifting into the Student Debt Cancellation Fund. So this actually has 2 separate different avenues that we use to do this. So we have our advocacy side, so lobbying those decision makers at the state and federal levels, making sure that they know we want student debt to be canceled, pushing for them, whether that's, again, at the state or federal level, and then also fundraising. So we do have a separate collective fund that we use fundraising fundraising for, and that money can go to scholarships, holding fees, and also just going to toward that full debt elimination. So this is a great project if you want to buy into it or learn a little bit more. This is another kind of separate avenue that Students United has been working on. So maybe you're thinking, wow, look at all this cool stuff that Students United is doing. Hopefully you are thinking that. We'd love for you to get involved. There's several different ways for you to do so. So a great way is the committees of the board. So we have 4 different internal committees, well 3 committees, and then our delegates assembly town hall. So each of these committees works on a different sector of things within Students United. So the internal affairs obviously works on things that are internally happening in Students United, whether that's our governing documents, our policies, any things like that. We have our legislative priorities, which are going to set what we're going to push the legislature to work for, and then our systems priorities, working with those people in the system office and all that good stuff. And then our delegates assembly is a little bit larger, happens at our advocacy conference, which I'll talk about in just a sec. So these are great ways to get involved with Students United. You are compensated for these. We realize that your time is super valuable. We don't want to negate that, so you do get paid if you do attend in these, and they're super fun. I served on them the past several years before becoming state chair, so it's a great way to slowly get involved into Students United. If you want to get involved in those, talk to President Zelmer. She can get you plugged into all that good stuff. Then we also have our system-wide councils and committees. So this is the Students United committees are a great resume builder, but these are another great resume builder because this is where you're going to be working with people specifically in the system office. So it's not just students that are working on these, it's faculty and staff and people in the system office. And there's several different categories, and each of those categories have the different committees. So I won't read all of them because that's a lot of text on the slide, but if you have any questions about them specifically, reach out to me or any of the other officers or President Zelmer. We'll get you connected, kind of telling you what each of them work on. And again, you are compensated by sitting on either committees of the board or system-wide councils, because there's nothing more valuable than students can give than their time, so you deserve to get that resume builder as well as be getting paid. So then, like I mentioned, advocacy conference. I have little handouts that I will leave with President Zelmer that you guys have QR codes that you can sign up for. So it's going to be a great event to work with networking, learn about different resources, and just work on your advocacy things. So this is going to be happening Saturday, November 5th. It's going to be at St. Paul College up in St. Paul, and it's going to be a full-day event with career fair, session from former alumni, elected officials, all that good stuff. And there are 9 free tickets, but I believe 8 of them are already taken here. So if you want to snag that last one, that is the code ADCON23 to unlock it. Then something that Students United implemented this year for our programs is a sliding scale. So we realize that not all students might be able to afford a $100 ticket to our advocacy conference. We still want you all to be able to attend, so they range from $20 to $80, and we ask that you give whatever you are able and whatever you think is fair. So if you are only able to give $20, A-okay, pay that $20, but if you're able to give $80, we'd be more than happy to accept that, because that allows us to continue this work that we're doing. So if you have any questions about that sliding scale, or you can't even afford that $20, reach out to us. We want as many students there because it's a great event. It's another way that I got connected with Students United, so that's a great opportunity as well. And then next semester, so I know it's kind of scary to already think about next semester, but we're coming up on midterms. But something that we're going to be doing in the spring is our Advocacy and Action Day. So we're going to have our lobby day where we're going to collect students from all the 7 universities and go up and lobby the legislature. But we're going to have a separate event that's a little bit more, like I said, advocacy and action. So a little bit more getting out on the streets, getting the hard ground, grassroots organizations and things like that, and then we'll be back on campus next semester. Again, hopefully you get connected with Students United before those events. Hopefully you join one of our committees or the system-wide committees or come to Advocacy Conference, but just wanted to remind you that we're going to be around for the year. So another thing that we'll be working on, and hopefully you guys are also working on throughout campus, is the Get Out the Vote. It's a midterm election. A lot of great seats are going to be opening up, so it's really important to go get to the polls in whatever way that you can. So we do have a really great, this QR code, it might be hard to get, on the screen has our digital resources of voter registration and things like that. So all those great digital resources that if your friends have questions, you can share them. That page, it's just studentsunited.org, and it'll link you there. But now, here's my question slide. Kind of jumped the gun on that, but do you guys have any questions? This QR code, again, QR codes on presentations are a little bit funky, but that's just a way to stay connected. You'll get reminders of the different events that will be happening as well. And then there's my email for state chair, our executive director, Thomas Anderson, or just our general information. If you have questions about advocacy conference or committees, feel free to reach out to all of us or one or the other.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Then for our first question, I'm going to give it to Senator Roberts.
So in terms of, I know this is not directly in terms of everything else, but in terms of the fee cap, what is the board working towards, and what is your view on raising that fee cap so we can further support student programming on campuses?
Yeah, great question. So President Zummer did bring that to our board at our last board meeting in September, and there was a lot of great discussion, and it was actually tabled so that other board members could go and meet with students on their campuses about what they think, whether it should be done, and they understand that it's not directly raising fees on their campuses, that it is the system-wide. But then we have our next board meeting this Sunday, actually, and there'll be more discussion with that. So then hopefully after that board meeting and there's a decision made, President Zummer can bring that information back to you all, as I know it's something that's really important for you all here on Mankato's campus. Did I answer the question?
All right. Do we have any other questions? President Zellmer?
Could you, so another interest of ours is international student health care. Could you share Students United stance with us?
Yes, we are working hard on, again, getting students to those decision-making tables and working on, there's a lot of things that go into international healthcare for students, both on the university level, system, and state level, but we are working with people at the system office to get students at those decision-making tables so they have that input, and Students United is working on what's going to be best for students in our system.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to. I'm gonna leave these here, and hopefully y'all look at them. Do you want me to turn off the mic for you?
No, leave it on.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming.
Sorry, we might have clapped a bit too soon. But we're now going to go ahead and move along to open forum. Do we have anyone here for open forum today? Yes, I'll give it to you in the back first.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here again. As a reminder, my name is Katie Brunner. I go by she, they pronouns, and I'm the director of speech and debate. And I will not be taking up too much of your time, but I wanted to pop back in and remind all of you of an event that's coming up. And this weekend, we're really, really excited to be hosting our Larry Schnorr Invitational Tournament, which is a speech and debate tournament that is named after the person who started this team many, many, many years ago, an institution on this campus, Larry Schnorr. He will actually be present this weekend at our award ceremony on Sunday. But if anyone had any interest in just seeing what things were about, or in coming and meeting the team and checking out some rounds, we would love to have any of you come and attend. The tournament itself starts at 8 a.m. And depending on how final rounds shake out, we'll probably, they want to come and observe something and they want to get set up with when those rounds are or anything like that, I can give you some more information. And we will also be having a second tournament on Sunday. So we do have a 2-day tournament, and this is our inaugural alumni tournament. So in this one, we will not have debate events. Those will wrap up on Saturday, but we'll run some more speech competitive events that day as well. So I just wanted to let you all know, and please open invitation to anyone who would be interested in attending or observing that. And I actually had a question that came up to put to the board, if that would be okay with me or with you. It's been a week, excuse me. I would love to know from my team's perspective how we can help support, if there's anything we can do as far as the fee, the student fee cap, if there's anything that a student group could do to help that.
I recognize Emma Zellmer for a response.
Yeah, so right now, I'm finishing up my letter to the Board of Trustees, as well as I'm going to be sending probably to you to distribute to your students. I'm not sure if it's going to be phrased in a letter or petition yet, something along those lines for all the students who are in student activity fee-based areas to sign on. That way, when we send it to the Board of Trustees, it's not only all of our signatures on it, but also I'm hoping for like 100+ students to just make a point. Well, hopefully more than that, but that'll be sent out to you as well as to others to sign on. We're hoping to get in at the November, I need to meet with Vice President Straga again, but hopefully the November Board of Trustees meeting.
Okay, perfect. And that's not by the Sunday deadline. Like that would happen after that Sunday
Nope.
conversation. Okay.
Yeah, but I will let them know that Speech and Debate supports our cause at Students United.
Absolutely.
It's
And
kind
then
of
if anyone
neat,
had
no?
any questions for me, that was all the information I had presented. And I can give my email in case you want to reach out. But
Any Emma Zelmer?
I saw you all had a tournament last weekend and some people placed. Could you share how that went?
yes, we were really excited to travel to our first tournament. And this is actually in addition to one of the tournaments that we had here on campus. So we have been competing for a few weeks now. Our first tournament that we had here was an online tournament in Lincoln Douglas Debate. And we actually had one of our brand new students place and get into the second place in the novice round. So that qualified her for the national tournament, which we were very excited about. And then last weekend we had an asynchronous virtual tournament that led up to an in-person tournament. And we had 2 students qualify extemporaneous speaking and impromptu speaking, and then another student qualify their poetry interpretation. And then in the in-person tournament, we had a lot of success as well, including our own James Sigwide, who qualified a second event in the in-person tournament as extemporaneous speaking. So we had quite a few national qualifications of that tournament. We're really excited.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations are definitely in order.
Thank you.
And then in that case, are there any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none, round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. Katie.brunner@mnsu.edu in case anybody wants to reach out with any questions. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Brian.
Hi there, I'm Brian Schneider from IT Solutions, and I'm here for 2 separate things this afternoon. The first thing is my role in IT. I recognize you all as being leaders of the university and also really smart people, which means that probably a lot of you, your friends probably consider you tech gurus. So the next time somebody comes to you and wants you to fix their laptop or their iPhone, you can give them this tip. You can say, did you know that October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month? And all you have to do is remember these 4 things. The first thing is, the first P is protect your device. That means that you have to treat your device like if it were a stack of $100 bills, and then make sure that you back up your data to OneDrive, so that's protected. The second P is is patching. It's really important that you patch your devices. If there's a security update or an update for your app, and make sure that you're installing those updates so that your device is not vulnerable to hackers. Those patches help prevent known issues and known security vulnerabilities, so patch them when they're available. And that's all your devices, from your TVs to your watches. The next P is phishing. Always be aware that people are trying to steal your usernames and passwords. So all those messages that you get, whether it's text messages, Facebook messages, all those other messages that have links on them, be very cautious about what you click on and put your username and password into, because they're trying to steal that, and then they can impersonate you, they can steal your information, they can steal financial money from you. So make sure that you are very suspicious of everything you click on. And the last P is passwords. You want to be sure to treat your password like socks, where you want to change them often. Well, maybe not that often, but you want to keep your password changed. You want to keep separate passwords for everything that you do. And also, if you have the opportunity to use multi-factor, set it up and use that. Because even if somebody would phish your username and password, chances are they're not going to be able to get by multi-factor. So it's really important that you do that. So given those tips for Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and make sure that everybody does that, not only in October, but all year round. So the next message that I have for you is my other role, which is your representative on the Mankato City Council. One of the things that I'm passionate about, and also the city of Mankato and Blue Earth County, we're working on trying to find solutions for affordable housing. So right now we have a survey that's out. And President Selmer, I'd like to send you an image of this, and you can send it out to the senators. You can take the survey. It's 12 questions, no wrong answers. Take as much time as you want. But we need feedback and ideas on what we can do as a community to help resolve the affordable housing issue. So I'll send that out to you. We're looking for your feedback. And we're going to use that to make, as a community, to make plans of how we can help address the affordable housing issues that we have. As you all know, students from our university and recent graduates are some of the poorest in our community, and we want to be sure that resources are available and we can help them out whenever possible. So we look forward to your problem-solving skills and your ideas to help with that. That's all I had. Speaker Novak, and I'll stand your questions.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Yes, Senator Wing.
So I know the previous administration had been seeking to start a City and Local Affairs Committee. This is kind of a question for both you and President Zellner. But is there any interest in starting something like this back up for this academic year, or is that?
Grace is the coordinator.
Okay, I hadn't heard anything on it in the last year or so.
Nancy. All right. Does that sufficiently answer the question?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Then in that case, do we have any further questions? Yes, Senator Hansen.
Is there a in-person gathering for this to gather information, say at like intergovernmental center, maybe in the Mankato room next Tuesday, I think? Is that a...
For affordable housing?
Yeah.
Or for the
affordable housing study?
Yeah. There is actually a meeting tonight on one aspect of it, and that's where the city would actually purchase the land, and then a house would be built on the land, or buy an older house and renovate the house. And the way it would work is somebody would buy the house and live there, but then when they sell the house, they would have to sell it at a discounted rate, which would be a lot lower because it's just the home and not the land underneath it. So that's just one aspect of the things that we're working on. But there will be some other opportunities as well for community to come together and gather ideas. We did have one about 2 weeks ago, but for the future ones that are coming up, I can share those agendas and those opportunities with you as well. Thank you. Right now, the survey is the best way to gather information.
Sure. All right. Thank you very much. Senator Roberts.
Has the city been discussing ideas of rent control?
No, not to my knowledge so far. But we are looking at some other aspects that might interest students as well. I got some ideas from President Zellner. But if you have any other ideas, you can pass those on to brian.schneider@mnsu.edu.
See. And a follow-up question from Senator Roberts.
What are those aspects?
Just a couple of them that come to mind are the aspect of where students have to sign a lease in October for the next year. That's one of them. Another one is the gap period from when students have to leave their apartment if they're going to change apartments in July, and they don't have a place to live for 2 weeks until their new apartment opens up. Another one is landlords that don't really fix up their buildings, yet charge the students out of their damage deposits for repairs that they didn't really make. So we're looking at some of the issues, the landlord issues, and what we can potentially do about that.
Thank you very much. Question from President Zellner.
Can you share with us when city council meetings are so we can attend and share the students' point of view?
Yeah. City council meetings are every other Monday. They're usually the first and third Monday of the month. And if you go to the city website, we have agendas, packets, the calendar, and students are welcome to any city council meeting.
Senator Roberts.
What time on Mondays?
6 o'clock in the evening.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do we have any further questions? Any further questions? And seeing none, thank you so much for joining us. Next up for open forum, I have Sam Steiger.
We should post that survey on the social media.
Howdy, y'all. Real quick, Sam Steiger, All Things Campus Rec and Maverick Adventures. Wanted to share with y'all, we had a great event last week on diversity, equity, inclusion in the outdoors. We hosted Emily Ford, who was a thru hiker of the Ice Age Trail. We also hosted her for a hike the next morning. We had great attendance. It was really a cool, inspirational event. I sent President Zellner some info about it, so if you're interested, take a look. Our next event coming up is a caving trip. I'm going to send some posters around. feel free to talk to your constituents about this. I'll bring those over to you in a second. The catering trip went live yesterday, and in 3 hours it's sold out. So although there's no registration spots on the trip, we are running a wait list. We currently already have 10 students on the wait list for that trip. The trip is on the 15th, going down to Mystery Cave, Forestville Mystery State Park. It's going to be really great. And on the 29th of October, we're going to have a costume climb at the outdoor rock wall. So back by the ropes course, costumes are encouraged. As they say in The Incredibles, please no capes. And capes are not good for climbing. So we're doing a no cape policy. I believe, are you asking the date? It's on the 29th. I believe it's going to be 2 p.m. Until it gets dark out there. I stand for questions.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Any questions? And seeing none, thank you so much for joining us. Do we have anyone else for open forum? Senator Wing.
Evening, everybody. So for those that do not know, I am the president of Turning Point USA here at Minnesota State University, Mankato. Tonight I just wanted to come in and address you all on the allegations that were raised last week and that were also posted about in the MSU Reporter. So these allegations I was aware of the week prior to Ms. McGee coming into this body to address each of you. She had come up to me during our annual Dunk Conservative event where we annually seek to have students engage with our organization to understand what we stand for. And from what I've heard, these allegations are absolutely against what we stand for. We pride ourselves on creating a space for people of all backgrounds to come and converse civilly about the issues facing our nation. I have spoken to Ms. McGee and I've asked her to give my contact information to these two students that allegedly were told this. I have not heard back yet, but I really hope to hear back from them in the future. As well, we did go over our equity, diversity, and inclusion statement in our meeting on Monday at 7 p.m. And I hereby invite anybody in this body to join us any Monday at 7 p.m. To better understand our organization and what we stand for. Thank you. I will now stand for questions.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Senator Wing? I see a question from the gallery. Is someone willing to yield to Antonio in the gallery? Yes, yield from Nirala.
All right. So you told me that there is the date and the time, but where is the Turning Point meetings at?
Oh, so our meetings are Mondays at 7 p.m. in CSU 101. That is the Heritage Room downstairs.
Thank you very much. Do we have any further questions? Any further questions? Thank you so much for the statement. Wonderful. Do we have anyone else for open forum? Yes, absolutely.
Kevin Beisman, Director of Athletics. I just wanted to come and acknowledge last night we held our second annual summit event between Student Athletic Advisory Committee and student government, and it was well attended. I think we had about 40 people representing student government and Student Athletic Advisory Committee, and it was just really inspiring to have student leaders come forward. President Zelmer spoke. Senator Larson gave an outstanding presentation. Leaders from both groups were able to kind of talk about their agenda and initiatives, in the current semester and for the rest of the year. There's definitely a lot of overlap in sort of those things, and I think two things that were highlighted were an Election Day initiative where plans were discussed about voter registration and those types of things, and I think there's going to be some collaboration where student athletes are sitting right alongside student government leaders and doing some tabling and working on voter registration initiative, and that was really exciting to hear. I think there's a shared interest and agenda surrounding mental health, and some very good discussion ensued there. And so I just, it was, as an administrator, it was inspiring to see the collaboration that's happening. I think that it would be wonderful if there could be further collaboration between intercollegiate athletics and student government. And it was just, I just wanted to come over and give a shout out to the great leaders from both groups. And it was exciting to have that happen last night, and just a wonderful turnout. And I just wanted to acknowledge that. Stand for questions.
Thank you very much. It was definitely a very wonderful summit. But do we have any questions? Any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much. Do I have anyone else here for open forum? Anyone else for open forum? And seeing none, we will go ahead and continue on with the rest of our agenda. Next up, we have our consent agenda. Do we have any objections or amendments to the consent agenda? All right. Any dissent to the consent agenda? And any dissent? Seeing none, I will assume unanimous consent. And the consent agenda passes as written. Very nice. Then in that case, we are now going to move along to officer reports, giving it to President Zelmer.
Awesome. Hi, friends. As you saw, we hosted Students United on campus today. They had some meetings with different groups on campus. Thank you, Dr. Jones, for making time to meet with student leaders. I know we only have one ticket left for the conference, but we can also put some buses together for others who want to attend, as well as let me know if you are like, yes, we want to attend. Last year, a different school put together funding for students to go, and then they didn't go. So we need to make sure if we fund things, we're showing up. So I'm excited to go up to that. For the committees that they were talking about, system-wide, let me know, and I can send your name up to the state chair. I don't appoint system-wide. Those you get to rub shoulders from all different universities, as well as advocate for students across the system. They do pay a stipend for those as well for your time. They're normally like a once-a-month meeting. For the Students United committees, there are some spots still available. Senator Blanchard's on the Internal Affairs Committee, as well as some other committees. So there's Internal Affairs, System Affairs, Legislative Affairs. I think that's it. I should probably know this, but you can reach out to me if you want to serve on them. They meet 3 times a year. We get 2 spots on each of those committees, and then delegates is now town hall style, so we will participate in that later. But yeah, that's the advocacy conference is when I fell in love with Students United. So would love to attend with all of you. Other than that, I got a couple emails of people wanting me to update on things. So from Leadership U and our former Senator Namita Bassnett, location for Leadership U workshop is every week in CSU 201. Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. It's free to involve and participate in the workshop, so if you all want to grow your leadership skills, attend that. An update from Scott Nelson at Athletics. We're hosting University of Minnesota for hockey on Saturday. You can try to show up and get tickets. I'm pretty sure it's a sold-out game because, well, it's the U of M. So if you're there, make sure you cheer loud. If not, show up, see if there's extra tickets available. I know their fast passes for hockey is sold out because I tried to get one today and I was told that no strings could be pulled. So other than that, women's hockey started last week. They were playing top-ranked national champs. So unfortunately, they weren't able to defeat them. However, they only lost by 1 goal each time. So we'll see them again hopefully later on. Football picked up a win at Concordia, 25-15. And are at Wayne State this weekend. Volleyball is the winner of 2 of their last 3 games, picking up a pair of sweeps this past weekend. Soccer is doing really well. They swept Upper Iowa and Winona State last weekend. Sorry, Kylie, if she's still here. And is currently ranked 13th in the nation. Men's and women's golf continue to do well as cross-country teams. Mankato men's hockey team is here this weekend to play the U of M. And the following week is UMD on Saturday, and my sister goes there, so I'll be there. And also we will be tabling for Get Out the Vote at the hockey game next Saturday, the football game, and the soccer game. I really want to win the Democracy Cup, so we will be sending out tabling lists for that for you all to sign up. Host the Golden Gophers. And then SAC Summit was great, and they'll be helping us with Get Out the Vote in the fall. Other than that, I want to congratulate Speech and Debate last weekend, specifically our members who are a part of Speech and Debate. There was a joint budget planning and evaluation sub-meeting conferred today. That was good. We got to give some feedback on the process. I'm trying to get more student feedback on the things involved in the process moving forward. For the SAC event, thanks for all that attended. I have green bandanas for their Green Bandana Mental Health Project, as well as mental health resource tags. I left all those in my office, so come by if you want one. I'll also bring them to next Senate meeting. I also had a meeting with Mark and Teresa, who were able to talk me through a lot of the budget stuff. So if you have budget questions, feel free to reach out to me and we can chat about more. Also, I'm finishing up committee appointments. There are some senators who aren't on a second committee. You'll be receiving an email from me to serve. Also, I know there's a lot of students in the room as well as students online. We are looking for more people for the Student Allocations Committee who will be meeting soon. Senator spots are full, so we will be looking for non-senators to join that. Or any other committee. I yield.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for President Zellmer?
Can I have one more thing?
Oh, yes, you may.
Sorry, the foundation lunch was also last week, so thanks to some of the coordinators who were there. There's a few in the room. I met with the foundation board. We spoke about things that they can fundraise for, and they said they heard loud and clear mental health and basic need and scholarships that are accessible not only scholarships that are not just accessible on merit, like academic merit should also be a priority. So they heard us loud and clear, so thanks for coming to that, and we'll hopefully see some more money donated our direction for those.
Absolutely, thank you. Now are there any questions for President Zellmer? Any questions for President Zellmer? And seeing none, Vice President Ibrahim.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, hi guys. So this week I met with the director from the Women's Center, Liz, and we talked about events that the center will be hosting Tuesday the 18th that raises awareness of the situation that's happening in Iran right now and just in worldwide women's issues. So if you're interested, I would like to see you there. And then last night we went to the Visa SAC social event that Student Athletic invited us. It was fun. So those of you who show up, thank you so much. And you can use that as office hours too. Me and Emma met with a mental health clinic role mentor who informed us what he's working on and what the university has approved. And that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Vice President Ibrahim? Any questions? All right, then seeing none, I'll move right into my report. So first things up, Senator office hours are due this week, this coming Friday. So please get those into me either via Presence or via email, depending on if Presence decides to work for you or not. And then tomorrow, I am going to the Twin Cities to meet with a couple of our legislatures as part of an event that's being hosted by Stonewall DFL, which I am a part of. So I intend to be talking on behalf of student issues, as well as heavily advocating for them to continue to fund, to subsidize the student tuition fee, which they promise to pay 66% of, and have so far not met that amount. So I will be advocating for that tomorrow night. Next up, I have make sure that you are, if you are eligible to vote, that you are pre-registered to vote by October 18th. If you do not pre-register to vote, you can register to vote same-day election. I want everybody registered to vote, and I want everybody out there voting, because we are going to win the Get Out to Vote Cup, because we're the best. We're the best university. I'm sorry to anyone from other universities that may be watching this or that are still in the room from Students United. My last thing for my officer report is actually not directed at any of the senators or the members in the galley, but is in fact directed at our friends who are watching via YouTube or checking the recordings, which is that it has come to my attention that some people have received unfortunate, unsolicited contact by some people who have intentionally sought them out after watching the Senate Zoom recordings, and I would like to remind our friends that it is still of the utmost importance to treat the people that arrive here in Senate, whether that is senators, people in the galley, or people that come up to speak, that those people are still human beings and deserve to be treated with the apt and due respect. So if you are to reach out to anyone that appears on these videos, please do so with the exact same respect that you would do with any other given person. And also be aware that just because people appear on the camera here, they may not be comfortable with solicitation or reaching out to them. So make sure that you get consent. That's a very important thing. And that concludes my officer report. If anybody has any questions. Any questions? All right. Seeing none, then we will go ahead and move on to senator reports. I will say, unfortunately, this was my mistake. I will take the blame for this. But there is a third senator report today from Senator Shroff, which is not on the agenda. But Senator Shroff will be able to go after Senator Jaw. So I'm so sorry that you're not on the agenda, but you will be able to go. First up, Senator Blanchard.
All right. So mine's going to be very fast. What I've been doing, I'm Residential Life Senator. What I've been doing is I attended a RHA meeting, which stands for Residence Hall Association, on Monday. And I gave them updates on what we've been doing in this space. And I told them all about vacancies, so hopefully we'll get a couple people out of that. I will be attending more of these in the future. I'm not sure if I can do weekly, depending on what my schedule allows. But yeah, just to kind of open up those lines of communication. I'm serving on the Library Textbook Affordability Group as my committee. In there, we've been working on textbook affordability through supporting open educational resources, or OER. That's been a really big thing the last couple of years. For professors, so that instead of spending $300 on a book, they can use online articles and things that are already out there for free that might do even a better job at teaching course materials. We also work with Maverick Textbook Reserve and then also current library resources that are available just to avoid textbooks, like spending the money on the expensive ones. Upcoming, we're having Open Access Week for that. That's going to be October 24th through the 30th. It's going to be a lot of faculty-focused events, but there will be some student-facing programming for that as well, just to support, again, like open educational resources that are available. I'm also working on a project with Senator Jaw, but I'm going to let them update on that because they're taking the lead. So thank you. Any questions?
Wonderful. While that was a very seamless transition into Senator Jaw's update, I'm going to allow for questions first before we switch over. Do we have any questions? Any questions? And seeing none, then thank you very much. Senator Jaw, you may now give your report.
Hello everyone, I am Koshangi Ta and I'm working as one of the Res Life Senators this year. So one of my main projects is to be getting graduation course for the community advisors in our res halls when they graduate, because I feel like community advisors are the first contact that as a first year student, if you're living in res hall, that you come in and their main point that connects you to all the way on the resources on campus and also kind of help you in shaping your college life. For that, after completing that, I'm gonna try and expanding my project to getting graduation course for the student employees of our university. I've been currently talking and emailing to Cindy Janey, the Dean of Student and Res Life Director, and she directed me to talk to graduation office, and I'm awaiting a response from them. And I'm also meeting next week with Torin Aki, the Associate Director, to talk about my project. And as for committees, I'm currently serving on Student Affairs Committee and Student Allocations Committee and CSU Board. Two of the committee, which is SAC and CSU board have not yet met, and we're going to be meeting next week and this week. And I stand for questions.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Any questions at all? Seeing none, thank you very much. Wonderful tag teamwork. Wonderful tag teamwork between the both of you. That was quite nice. But Senator Sharaf.
Can I use your?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll give it back.
Thank you.
Hi all. I'm currently working on 2 projects, but I made a presentation for just only one, so I'll describe my second project very briefly at the end. So my first project is on the academic research and undergraduate research center especially. So we see the problem that faculty cannot meet the students that are qualified for their research, and so they cannot start conduct research for their own portfolio and academic success of students. Without being passed on the research, we as a university cannot gain a reputation of a cool, practical university with successful students, and so we cannot do much fundings. The problem is going to be solved by a system. I hope it's going to be the system Forager one that allows to create students' profiles and faculty profiles where they can connect with each other in by just clicking one button, apply, and they will find each other faster, conduct research faster, and we can track it. So this is how we're gonna do more research and track our success and go for funds. So yeah. I already met with Dr. Patrick Tebe, the director of Undergraduate Research Center, and also with Dean Curley to discuss the possibilities of the project. So now I'm doing the research on other peer universities on how they conduct their research and how their Undergraduate Research Center is working. So we can present this idea on a symposium on October 18th for the faculty to open this question for discussion. That's all for my first project, and the second project is on society and inclusion, because I see how many students, especially internationals, are getting offended or harassed. I was myself, and they are not doing reports, and they are keeping it with themselves. So I'm not gonna do the report stuff because reports is bad for the academic records for any students and their future. So what I think of is to create a small orientation training or maybe online training, and also include it in the first year seminar on how to behave in society, especially that diverse as our university has. So that's it.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Senator Sharaf? Questions at all? Oh, yes, Senator Demenci.
Yes, I know you created for the sealing process. I was not sure because Senator Sharaf shared with me, but I'm not sure if it's done. If it is, then could you talk more about it?
Okay. Yeah, the program is done, but it's not in the stage of promotion yet. But you will see soon the QR code for the anonymous form where people can share their problems anonymously if they're afraid to do reports or afraid to say what was happening and what kind of harassment they see. And we will take the statistics to just understand what's happening with students and how we can develop the friendly environment in the university.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none? Absolutely amazing work. All right. right, then in that case, that ends our section of senator reports, meaning that we will now move into vacancy elections. So I'm going to go down the list of our open vacancies and ask if we have people here for that. If you are here for those vacancies, please make your appearance noted, raise a hand, or stand up. And I'm going to first ask, do we have anyone here applying for the position of at-large residence community senator? Yes, amazing. Will you please stand and go to the podium? And you will be allowed a 2-minute opening statement, followed by questions, and then a 2-minute closing statement. Before you start, real quick, I'm just going to get out my phone so that I can time you. I'm sorry. But I will also ask before your opening statement if you'll just say your name and pronouns real quick.
My name's Abby Andre. My pronouns are she, they.
Amazing. Thank you very much. All right. You may go ahead and start when you want. I'll hold up like a 1 when you've got 1 minute and a 3-0 for 30 seconds left.
All right. Well, hi. As I just said, my name's Abby. I'm a freshman here, and my major is poli-sci. I'm applying for the residential life position. If I do get this opportunity, I'd like to focus on accessibility on campus, particularly in dorms. I think it's an issue that's looked over often. And then the main reason that I think this would be a great position is because I really want to help out in any way I can, particularly in making campus a better place for people. I think this is a great opportunity to do so.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Then in that case, we will now open it up for questions, if anybody has any questions. Any questions? No questions at all? All right, very well. Well, then in that case, I will offer you the opportunity for a 2-minute closing statement, but you may forfeit that if you choose. Yes. Yeah. Don't know what would be said, but thank you very much. Then in that case, while the Senate potentially discusses and then votes, you may choose to either stay in the room or step out of the room. All right, very well. Then in that case, as per usual, we will allow for the opportunity for everyone to discuss. Please only make discussion points that are pertinent to whether the candidate can do their job. Senator Roberts.
So first off, I will say that I am abstaining as they are a student of mine in a class. But I can say that they would be a great person for this job. I've seen them do some great work in class when they've gotten some good work done. So I think that they'll be a great advocate to have to add to our wonderful student government.
Wonderful. President Zelmer, I'm sorry.
Oh, if to be a Res Life Senator again. This candidate stopped by my office, spoke about the role, their view of the role, and what they could do. So shows they're dedicated and interested to learn. There's some senators who haven't stopped by my office, so I think that they'd be a great candidate. And I yield.
All right, Senator Blanchard.
I have a point of clarification.
Yes.
If there's another person in the gallery running for residential life senator, I'm not sure if there is, would they have the opportunity to run? Or would we just vote on this and then move on?
They were asked to stand if they were going to run for that office, and seeing that nobody stood at this time, it would not be fair to our candidate, as they have already moved past their statement point and the question opportunity. It would not really be super fair unless we brought them back and redid a whole
I just
thing.
wasn't sure if there was anybody else who had applied.
No one else applied.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the deadline.
Oh, okay.
Yes. As far as I am aware, there was not another application when I observed and put together the vacancy information yesterday. Yes. Do we have any other discussion points? Senator Wing.
I'd just like to note that we have a lot of empty seats here. And I think it's great to see students that aren't necessarily accustomed to our organization joining. And I think that would be a great addition to our team.
Thank you very much. Then in that case...
Motion to call the question.
Motion to call the
Second.
question. Beautiful. Second. Is there any dissent to calling the question and moving to a vote? All right, seeing no dissent, we will move to a vote. Once again, please write your vote on a small sheet of paper. Me and John will go around and collect them. Yes, no, or abstain.
My tiny abstention.
Oh, they abstained but still spoke.
Speak on
Which is kind of against the idea of abstaining.
I think
You could have voted anyways, I would not have cared. But just say, like, imagine you have a thing for your business. Like, let's think of realistically, right? You have a thing for your business. You're going to speak to promote your business when no one else has the opportunity to because when you're able to yeah. Yes,
probably not. Well, I do it anyway.
Probably not.
Is the actual government the most ethical?
Absolutely not.
No, I just didn't know because I just saw all the residents.
No, I think there's the first. I just there is a line. I said like there are actually a student of mine. I cannot. That's probably very unethical if I actually voted on that.
I'll let help you. I'm a dean. I heard you had somebody who was too bad. You were talking to some.
No, I had a plan and then I forgot what the hell that plan was. I think we're gonna set out a table up there.
Oh, table by
Allied Health and Nursing.
the dean's office or in the
Just in the area. That's just because I don't know if I have it.
You, I swear. I've handed it to you.
I know.
Multiple times.
Do you need a reset? I need a to have.
Do you just want to listen to the video?
Yes.
The video?
All right. We have a motion on the table from Senator Roberts.
Motion for recess 3 minutes, so Joey and Emma can find the wonderful.
Not me, to be clear.
So the amazing Storm here can.
Thank you. 3-minute recess. All right. We will reconvene at 5:15. Make sure you're here at 5:15. Okay. It's state. Is there like a digital version?
No.
I need this on a digital.
And someone's.
writing it down.
No one signed up for it and it was too late.
I brought it up in committee and everyone just looked at me like I was crazy.
No, it was.
It's because you are crazy.
We just didn't send any students. It's like all the academic affairs people, all the admissions reps. That was.
I'm going to ask that everyone please retake their seat. I'm so sorry for that, everyone. But my lovely friends, as you were likely able to figure out by the fact that we called the recess in order to get the oath of office written down, we have moved to elect our newest senator. So will you please stand up, go to the podium, and I'm going to have you recite the oath of office. While David, if you were able to film. Or pictures. Yes, sorry. Then in that case, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Abby,
Will represent and serve
will represent and serve
the students of Minnesota State University, Mankato
the students of Minnesota State University, Mankato
in student life and academic needs,
in student life and academic needs,
and will uphold the mission, Constitution and bylaws of the student government. I so affirm.
Me?
Yes.
I so affirm.
Amazing. Welcome to Senate.
You can take a seat at the table.
You may now take a seat at the table, and you are effective immediately as senator, meaning that you will be allowed to vote and speak on any of the proceedings of the rest of this meeting, as well as from this point on. With that being said, we're going to go down the rest of our senator vacancies that we have available. Do we have anybody here applying for the College of Allied Health and Nursing? Anyone for Allied Health and Nursing? I do not see anyone. Do we have anyone for College of Education? Do not see anyone. And do we have people here running for off-campus senator? Yes, please. Will both of you please...
Oh, and over there.
Oh, and over there. Sorry, I didn't see you. Will all three of you please make your way over towards the podium? And as we have a contested election here, the rules are going to be slightly different. All three of you will be allowed to still do your 2-minute opening statements. You guys can choose what order you wish to do those in. Whatever order you choose to do those in, the reverse order will be used for closing statements. We will also be having for the questioning period, the initial question that is asked must be something that can pertain to all of the candidates present. Any follow-up questions can be directed at specific candidates if you would like to ask more about their response or something that they said in an opening statement or on their vacancy election sheets. Does that make sense to everybody, or does anybody have any questions or clarifications? That can also apply to you guys if you have any questions. All right. I will let you guys determine what you wish to be your order that you want to go for opening statements.
I'll go first, sure.
All right, cool. Then in that case, you will once again get 2 minutes, and I'll hold up a 1 when you've got 1 minute left, and a 3-0 when you've got 30 seconds left. You may start whenever you like, but please include your name and pronouns.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here. My name is Sydney Dumond. I use she and they pronouns. I am a first-year graduate student at Mankato. I'm going for my communications degree. I also am a teaching assistant for the CMST 100. Hi, students. And I am also working at a hotel, and I live off campus, hence why I'm running for this position. I earned my undergraduate degree in organizational communication studies with minors in women's gender and sexuality studies, as well as child advocacy studies from Winona State University. My girl left, but hi. I'm running for this position because I feel like I would be a great advocate for all students, but specifically for the off-campus students. I have experiences in leadership, including I was the social media coordinator for my improv troupe at Winona. I also was an RA, I believe you call them CAs here, at Winona State. I also was an administration intern at Winona State during my senior year, and I also was the president of the reproductive justice group at Winona State University. I also spent some time at a grad school in Eastern Illinois University where I served as a resident hall director. All of these experiences have given me a lot of work on advocating for students and making sure that their needs are met. I helped educate students and community members about current happenings in the world as my position as the president of the Reproductive Justice Group, as well as organize club members to rally for reproductive rights. I also, as my time as an RA, worked to support students in their resident hall needs and their needs as students in general at the university. If I were to get this position, I hope that I could work with all of the already amazing members of this government, student government specifically, to help advocate for students and really help them get what they need. Thank you.
All right, wonderful timing. Thank you very much. Then we'll move on to our second opening statement.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jordan Mueller. My pronouns are he, him. And currently, right now, I am applying for the off-campus senator. I do live in Highland Hills, right across the streets from the campus. It's just me and my boyfriend and our one cat, so a pretty small family unit right now. And so I really believe that, I can represent students off campus. I am every day off campus, used to seeing off-campus life, interacting with students who are in my apartment complex and see other students in different apartment complexes. My identity, I am LGBT, so I feel like I can, represent diversity and I understand diversity and how diversity makes institutions like this a lot stronger. And right now I am a part of, my major is urban and regional studies, and I am double minoring. My first is in geography, my second is in political science. So kind of issues that I would be focusing on would be, affordable housing, making sure that all students have access to housing on or off campus, even though I would be representing more of the off-campus variety. Looking at rent control, making sure that rent is affordable. This is a very big issue affecting our student body. And also, due to me being part of the Urban Regional Studies Institute, I do have a focus on transportation planning and all things issues transportation. So I would look at issues, pertaining to transportation. Some students live further away from campus, some students live in different towns. Kind of transportation options and how the university and how this body as a whole can, work to implement, more accessible, more inclusive transportation options to the university and also off it. I really would love to be on this campus or this part of this institution. I am also very interested in politics and kind of the works of government, and I feel like I have a good knowledge of how institutions like this work, and also be able to contribute kind of like a civic duty to the body as well. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. All right. And our final opening statement. You may go whenever you are ready.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Doyle Belisle. I go by DJ, however. I am a transfer student from Northern State University in Aberdeen, South Dakota. I am a social studies teaching major, and I am running for off-campus senator because some of the things that I have capabilities of doing. I am currently on the executive board of 2 RSOs on campus. I've reached out and helped with multiples of recruitment for both of my bodies. Some of my goals include having more off-campus students involved in RSOs because I feel like that makes for a much more involved community on campus rather than a lot of off-campus students feeling like they can't be as part of the community as they could be if they were on campus. While I do not have any true civic experience, like I said, I am part of 2 RSOs on 2 executive committees. And yeah, that's kind of all I got.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, then in that case, what we are going to do now is we are going to go into questions. Once again, I ask that your first question pertain to the entire group, and we will allow them to answer in the reverse order of opening statements, so DJ would be allowed to answer first. Yes, Senator Ziguid.
So why should we vote for you over your people that you're running against?
So my biggest, do you want me to go next?
Yes, please.
So I would say probably my biggest strength that I have is my communication style that I have. I'm very good at talking to committees and maintaining order among committees and setting up dates and times to actually lead things rather than, I know communication can be a massive issue with some of the committees and it can be kind of messy to get things like that done.
All right. Next, Jordan, you may respond.
Yes, so I think I'd be the best fit, basically because, I have, vested interest in my academic career on kind of the issues that affect off-campus students. Mainly I mentioned, like housing issues. My position being as an urban studies student, I have kind of like an increased knowledge and like more of an advantage there to understand these issues and understand solutions that do work within to tackle these issues. And I've been able to tackle these and think about these issues and see solutions in the classroom as well as through organizations that I've been involved in off campus as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like I could be the best fit because of my previous experiences in leadership roles. Throughout my different experiences, I've had to work with students to advocate not only for themselves but for the groups and identities that they're a part of. And I also feel like I am a little bit of a jack of all trades. I've held a lot of positions at a lot of different universities and institutions, and I've kind of gotten to know a lot of people. And I'm very good at networking as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Senator Zikwi, do you have a follow-up question related to your first question?
I do, just for...
It has to be for all.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Follow-up questions, we actually amended it last year to allow for follow-up questions to be for a specific person. So if you would like, while it's pertaining to the subject, you may go ahead.
I was just wondering, so DJ, you said that you're on 2 different executive teams. What are they? I see you have Lambda, Chi Alpha?
Lambda, Chi Alpha.
And then what is the other one?
I'm also the recruitment chair of the HERD, which is the student section on campus.
Cool. Nice. Thank you very much. Then in that case, Senator Roiger.
So with being a part of Senate, you are also in other committees and stuff. How would you manage your time and your schedules so that you can be representing your constituents properly? For everybody.
Everybody.
Can you still do the reverse one or go back?
Reverse order back to Dumont. Sorry.
No, you're good. With organizational communication, my undergraduate degree, we worked a lot with scheduling and kind of working around that and time management. So I have a lot of experience with time management. I also worked 3 jobs my senior year of college, as well as I was a president and worked for social media. So I've gotten really good about knowing my limits and being able to schedule myself out and make sure I'm available for all of the people when they need me to be. Thank you.
So in response to committees, I have applied to 2 committees within the student body government, mainly being the Transportation Committee and the Environmental Committee. I really feel that these 2 committees, are relevant to my Senate position as well as my academic career, being that of urban studies again. And so also with time management, I do feel that I have a lot of free time on my hands. That's why I am going after student government, because I feel like I am very much able and available to these activities. And I only do, my personal job is only on the weekends. So through the weekdays, I am very much available besides class time. So I will ensure that I will be available to students, my constituents, and any other individuals on the campus who can reach out to me and work out times to communicate with them and make sure I'm available to the utmost. Thank you.
Thank you.
So as far as time management goes for me, I'm still doing for the majority of my stuff, level 100 and 200 level classes. So academics isn't eating up too much of my time, though it is a massive priority. I do work full time as well, but I see myself as a very open scheduled person. So essentially if I'm not doing work, I can push around other things that I have to make time regardless.
Thank you very much. Senator Roberts, and then DJ, you may start this question.
In terms of better representing, because I know some of you listed diversity in your biggest issues, how do you plan to better fit and serve students of diverse needs?
Well, I would just like to start by saying I'm part of the most diverse fraternity on campus in Lambda Chi Alpha. My biggest thing that I try to do is ensure that the people that I have contact with and the people who I network with are of diverse backgrounds, because I believe that that's a massive part of being a more well-rounded individual, rather than sticking in corners and, not including other individuals in your life.
Thank you.
So on the issue of diversity, like I mentioned before, I am part of the LGBT community. So I really feel like I'll be able to represent and be a voice for those members of those communities in this institution. This would see me working with the LGBT Center here in the Student Union and on campus. And I also have applied for the campus club called SAFE, Center for Sexuality and Gender Equality. So I would kind of use this part of my identity and kind of these organizations to reach out to students of those identities. And also, Highland Hills is a very diverse apartment complex, and I do see a lot of my fellow neighbors and stuff like that, and I do reach out to them, and I also be in contact with them who all have diverse identities and reach out with them and put them into my work here in the Senate. Thank you.
Part of my minor, Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies, we focus a lot on diversity and how to be inclusive. So I have that part of my background, and I've also learned throughout the last couple of years that it's really important to listen to others. So while I'm here to be a voice and help others, I also want to be able to listen to others and get their intake on things as well. So that's probably the biggest thing that I would do when it comes to looking at diversity, is I'd be listening to different groups of students of all different backgrounds and just try to hear what they have to say about our campus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you have a second question, Senator Roberts?
I have another question. What are your views on ABA?
Dumond, you may start this.
Say BA or PA?
ABA.
Would I be able to ask that you clarify what ABA is for our candidates if they are unaware?
So, Senator Wenzel wants this discussion in terms of neurocosmopolitanism in terms of this campus, and I'll specify more. How do you plan more specifically to protect neurodiversity on this campus and the prevention of basically conversion therapying them out of existence?
I think this goes along with diversity and just making sure to listen to all students. Their needs are going to be most likely individualized. Everyone's needs are not going to match up with the person next to them. So listening to those students and learning how we can best help them in their needs and organizing that way, I think would be the best way to go about that. Thank you.
Thank you.
In reference to students of neurodiversity and identities of that sort, my kind of motive plan for that would be to reach out to organizations on campus that are led or pertain to students of these identities. Contact with students who do have or do identify as neurodivergent and stuff like that. Because I do not identify as neurodivergent, and so I would not put myself in a position to speak above or over neurodivergent students. And so I would do my best to reach out to these organizations, reach out to students who do identify as this, bring them to here if they do have issues, kind of reach out to them, and talk right to the source. And also, I am aware of, current university policies, like the diversity or the disabilities requirements that students can qualify for in classes. Expand those policies, speak up for them, and do more research and kind of make sure that these policies are protected and available on campus for all students, regardless of their identity. Thank you.
So speaking on neurodivergent students, I would just like to speak as an individual who all three of my younger brothers are all neurodivergent. The youngest one of them being 12 years old at this point in time. So I've always considered myself a big candidate and a large supporter of them and their wants and needs, even as far as going to their schools and talking to people in authority figures about their needs and things that, understanding that not all schools have had places for those students to necessarily feel like their needs are met. And so I'd like to continue doing things like that on our campus to ensure that neurodivergent students have their needs met regardless of what current policy may say.
Thank you very much. Senator Roberts, I'll pop back to you in a sec, but first I'm going to give it to Vice President Ibrahim.
Hi, my question for you is, how are you going to serve the PIPAC students or community who lives off campus?
DJ, you may start.
Could you clarify the question a little bit?
Yeah. I'm going to use the mic because it's fun. But Vice President Ibrahim would like to know how our candidates here would serve the BIPOC community, the Black, Indigenous, people of color that may be living off campus.
I believe that goes into the plan for diversity. That ensures that diversity is always met, regardless of what RSO, organization, class, club, major, anything that is met, always ensures that they have an inclusive environment that isn't leaning one way or having any illicit bias toward any one group of individuals, and ensuring that they feel included in the community and ensuring that they feel like they have a voice, that way their needs can be met as well.
So in relation to these issues of BIPOC students, my kind of plan of attack per se would also be the same as my neurodivergence response. Obviously, I am not a student of BIPOC identity, and so I would not try to put myself to speak above them or put myself into a position to kind of speak for them without consulting them. I do recognize that there are a multitude of organizations on campus that do represent and are made up of BIPOC students, and I would contact these organizations, reach out to them, work with them, and pull ideas and resources from these organizations, have the students come directly speak to the institution if they have issues they are passionate about. And also, I am educated on, issues of, Black Lives Matter, racial segregation, Black liberation, land back, all these kind of political movements and social movements that are affecting society today. And I would reach out to these, or I approach these issues with that kind of mindset in mind. And just my main goal would be to reach out to the students directly, not put myself above them or speak over them. Thank you.
I think one thing that I would do is I don't think that on campus we have an opportunity, or off campus we have an opportunity for students to meet and have these kinds of discussions, specifically off campus, I would say. So I think that would be something I would enjoy working on if I were to join student government, to create a safe space for BIPOC students who live off campus to meet and bring their issues and needs that they have, specifically with off-campus living, what they have experienced. I believe someone brought up today some racial profiling amongst one of the off-campus apartments. So I'd like to create a safe space where students who have been impacted by this or have feelings or valid feelings, obviously everyone's feelings are valid, but creating a safe space where people could gather and talk about these issues and work together to bring that either to student government or to administration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Senator Roberts.
I know multiple of you talked about needing to bring up representation with RSOs. How exactly do you plan to achieve that? What does that look like in your mind?
So I'm new to this university, but I have worked with RSOs at my other university. But I think reaching out to club executive boards and working with them as a starting point and creating more gathering spaces for everyone to meet together to talk about issues regarding RSOs would be a great start to that.
I would have a similar approach. I kind of don't want to sound like a broken record, but I do not want to speak over, people of these identities. And so similar to the other candidates, my first approach would be to contact these organizations on campus that are led by students of diversity and all these different identities. Because they have organized, they have the structures, they have the infrastructure already set in place to work with these students of these identities. And I do not want to push these organizations aside, push this work aside. My main goal would be to work with these organizations, contact their executive boards, contact their members, contact their leaders, and work with them as best I can to push the university forward in issues of representation and diversity. Thank you.
So first and foremost, I'm already into two RSOs, so I immediately have that boots on the ground kind of thing, where I have contact with a lot of these RSOs. I talk to their presidents, their vice presidents, and stuff like that daily. So regarding that, it's literally just a matter of contacting and further networking with RSOs and ensuring that you continue to have an open communication style and you're not sticking to your own bubble, and ensuring that you are inclusive in conversations of all aspects, essentially, whether that be events, committees, and things like that, and recruitment and new members.
Thank you very much. Do we have any further questions for our candidates here today? Any further questions? I believe that we've grilled you guys enough then in that case, and we'll allow for you to have your 2-minute closing statements, which will, again, go in the reverse order of what they were for opening statements.
So for my closing statement, I would just like to say that I know I'm not the most experienced person running for this position, but I understand that I am, in my eyes, a person who is looking to grow, and I'm looking to experience new things and develop a greater understanding of how changes are made on campus, and I would like to work with the individuals who are already on this board to be able to ensure that changes are made and that things are not simply staying the way that they are, to make sure that things are inclusive and that this is the most positive and inclusive campus in the Minnesota state system.
Thank you very much. Jordan, you may go.
So I did not really mention kind of like my past experiences, kind of my opening statement, so I'd like to kind of address those now. While I do not have much like civic experience, kind of in the exact sense that this is conducted, through my youth I was active in organizations such as 4-H, FFA. In high school I was part of the National Honor Society, so I do consider myself to have some leadership experience and also working with teamwork. So if I am elected to the Senate, I will be very focused on compromise, teamwork, and kind of working together as a whole body. I also have applied to some campus organizations. It's still pretty new in the year, so they can kind of get on their schedules. These two organizations being CERSI, or the Students of the Urban and Regional Studies Institute, and SAGE, or also known as Sexuality and Gender Equality. And so I do feel like I have enough experience and I am active enough to really bring talents and bring assets to this body as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Dumont.
Thank you, everyone, again for having us here. Again, my name is Sydney Dumond. I use she, they pronouns. Just to kind of wrap up, I'm running for this off-campus position in hopes that I can better represent the off-campus students and help to meet their needs and get their voices across to all of campus, but specifically to this group of people who are really movers and shakers, so to say. I have previous experience with advocating for and with students and different community members as well throughout my time as the president for the reproductive justice group on campus at Winona, as well as my time as an RA and really helping students in that aspect. In this role, I would work very hard to listen to all student voices across all identities and do my best to help make Mankato State University a more welcoming, engaging, and equitable campus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, before we move into a period of deliberation and voting, I will give you all the option to choose whether you would like to stay in the room for deliberation and voting or whether you would like to step out of the room.
I'm gonna step out because I have to use the restroom.
That's so fair.
I will stay.
Okay. Very good. Then in that case, we are going to move into a period of discussion here. Please only make statements that pertain to the candidate's ability to do their job. Emma Zelmer is writing the options over there. I see that we are going by first name, so what we will be doing is when you cast your vote, write on a piece of paper either the candidate's name as written over there so that we can get a tally, or abstain or no confidence. No confidence is if you believe that none of the candidates are capable. However, before you vote, let's discuss a bit because people may have points that may change people's minds. So, Senator Roberts.
I have a motion.
Oh, you have a motion, yes.
For when we do get to voting, we do it by ranked choice.
I am unaware if that's something that we're able to do within our Constitution. I wish it was, but John?
Okay.
We can pass an amendment later to do ranked ballot voting because not later today, like later on in the semester, because I love ranked ballot voting. But I see discussion point from Senator Blanchard.
Yes. Today I will be supporting DJ because I think that this candidate can bring a different outlook and different connections to this space. As a residential life senator and a CA, I interact with a lot of the student body on a daily basis in the dorms. And what we see in this room is a very small subset of the super involved students. There is a lot of students on this campus And I think with their involvement in both FSL and then also the HERD, that's going to gain student government representation from, I feel, an underrepresented group of the less involved students.
Thank you very much, Senator Zigweed.
One thing I would like to point out is that I believe candidate Dumont came and addressed this body before, I believe previously last week, and so I feel like that demonstrates a consistent pattern of advocacy and advocating for individuals to make changes. So I'll be supporting them.
Here's a response. Senator Zigweed.
Oh no, I
Okay.
just want to talk.
Okay, yeah. If it was a response, I was going to let it jump the speakers list. But Senator Wing.
So I actually met DJ for the first time on Sunday the 25th in part of my efforts to better understand the fraternity and sorority life communities here at MSU. And over the last week and a half, I've been corresponding with him about possibly running for Senate. And what he may lack in experience, he is not lacking in dedication to this university. He is extremely dedicated from what I've seen in both of his RSOs, and I think that he brings a very unique perspective to this university, both being part of fraternity and sorority life, being a transfer student, as I've talked to him previously about, and then also being a veteran himself. I think that those three things are what really set him apart.
Thank you very much. Senator Roberts.
I will be supporting Cindy Dumont. She has been a very wonderful person to get to know. She is a massive advocate, not only for graduate students, but also a huge advocate for off-campus students, and has already gotten the ground running. A lot of stuff talking to off-campus students, working with off-campus students. I know that one of the projects she was working on, and she actually reached out to both Senator Wenzel and I about this idea of internet spaces on campus to improve accessibility to students who may not have internet, but also amongst other things. I have seen her do amazing work in advocacy. I know that she's done a lot of advocacy before, and I think she is the optimal candidate. Not to say that any of the other candidates are bad or anything. They were wonderful candidates too. I think Sydney just outshines and is a wonderful candidate that will serve amazingly well and do some amazing things for our body. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you. President Zelmer.
So, in full transparency, I have class with two of these candidates who are both still in the room. Hi, friends. So, after class, one of the candidates has spoken with me before about about the position, about the commitment, and about roles. So, Jordan has met with me outside of class to talk about Senate, what the position is, what we work on, how, what we can do as a body, as well as he shared that he has applied for committees already and is interested in getting involved on campus through those means, showing that he's taken the initiative. I really enjoyed hearing about affordable housing, transportation, things, excuse me. And I enjoyed hearing all the answers about diversity, especially, the hard one that you threw them on neurodiversity, which had to be explained to me for 2 hours. But so I enjoyed hearing all of their answers. I liked Sydney's idea of a safe space. I liked DJ's talking about feeling included and heard, which I think is really important on our campus, as well as Jordan repeating, not to speak over others, which I think is really important, that we bring voices to the table, not just speak for what we believe to be the case. So there's the context I'll provide. I yield.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other discussion points? Any further discussion points? Then in that case, seeing none, we will move to a vote. If people want to get any clarification, it is between those three options for if you are supporting a candidate, no confidence if you support no candidates, and abstain if you are abstaining from this vote. Me and John will go around and collect the votes. I'm sorry that it's not ranked choice voting, my friends. Ranked choice voting? I love ranked choice voting.
I thought I heard my name. I'm not colluding on this. Oh, the announcement. Do you want me to?
Not this time.
I mean, you need to.
Sorry.
No, I know, and that's why you were like,
Okay.
You were like, but this announcement, and I was like, I'm not trying to talk about that.
Yeah.
So that's why I rolled it back. I was like, this is emergent.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Oh my god.
Who was that? I can't with y'all tonight.
Who voted yes? No, it wasn't.
Count that as an abstention.
I did not vote yes, by the way. I did not. That was not me.
Whoever that was. Too bad. Was that you?
No, it wasn't me. You were looking at me.
Be funny. No, you just make direct eye contact with me. So, also, it kind of depends on where my face is. When I was speaker, I would always, if people said things, I'd make faces at one center every single time. It was bad. He's now a track coach at MSU. We reminisce. I love how they record the vote counting. It's so dramatic. It reminds me of 2020. It's going to be used in court to do that. One was yes. Who do we count for? Have we invited? Oh, you are here.
I'm back. I snuck in.
I'm glad. All good.
You can make them.
Everybody, so there has been a tie. There are two so we are going to recall and do a second vote between the candidates of Jordan and Sydney. You may still abstain or vote no confidence should you choose to.
Sorry, stealing all your papers.
If you have any other questions or if other spots open up, reach out.
Yeah, I asked them. They were supposed to be here earlier, but they
Yeah. Please make sure to announce that whoever does it should continue to get involved.
to see if you want
Vacancies rise often.
I'm sorry. Just don't write yes.
One spot.
As long as you don't do that, I think that's forever.
This is the most competitive one I've seen. One here.
During COVID. Sad. Tragic, actually.
Tough decision, too. They're all really
Your
good.
phone's You should just say it. I believe in you. You have a mic and everything.
Oh, I do. It's just like I don't like.
Read it, word for word. Do it.
It's not.
We're gonna hype you up until you're ready to just speak on everything.
Please don't do that because I will. Your earrings are amazing today.
I know, I love that. I think you wore them the other day too. I love your top. Sorry. I almost fell over when you were right. It's purple. It's just such a moment.
What's the next?
That would be fun. How many voters do we have? 2, 3, 4. You voted, right?
Yeah, like a man.
19. Thank goodness.
It's for men.
One person says yes.
Someone says no confidence, and then you get a tie.
No confidence. I have seen that happen. Well, I've more than once. Wait.
Point of personal is to not allow other senators to show up baby votes.
Yes, they ran out of
I've seen no confidence for a vice president run.
Because this is for adults, not children.
That.
We could rock, paper, scissors for it.
It's a majority. I looked it up earlier.
Simple or super?
What?
Simple or super?
It says a majority of the votes cast.
So, majority.
We were debating whether that meant plural or majority earlier.
It means majority.
Yeah. Bring up Robert's rules and
Yeah,
I would not really bring Robert's rules to it. We'll probably bring it to the meeting just in case, but if anyone does that,
I'll bring
throw pens.
I'll throw the big book.
If you challenge, you're going to go ahead with Robert's rules.
I have the book.
We have multiple versions in the Senate office. I'm actually referring to version 11. It's actually Storm's Rules of Order. So.
No, it's well. I know they released a new edition because of online roles. So digital meetings can exist.
Additional meetings outside of Senate?
No, digital.
Digital?
Yes, like Zoom meetings, because that wasn't in Robert's rules before until.
Oh, really? Now there's a Zoom chapter? Then there was me, like, running the budget meeting 2 weeks into the pandemic. Which, honestly, I feel like made it run smooth. Except when chaos broke loose for a bit. Because I sent out a note and I said, if you're presenting, you get this much time. Like, done. You don't get to be called back. Like, you can be called up for questions, but you do not get to watch a 20-minute video. And one of the senators wanted to sit as they're speaking. And I was like, no, this isn't how this works. That was the only difference. We got out of there for 5 hours.
Do you want me? We're gonna next the safe center. Yeah. All next life senators are invited to meetings.
Look up the Constitution. I'm pretty sure it's in the Constitution.
Well, like they're required to go to the Constitution, but it doesn't say when or where.
Oh, you can, if you want to do it, you can. Otherwise, you can just send out an email. I forgot to give you a shout out.
Oh, so I apologize. Wow.
All right.
Great. Thanks.
Everybody, here's the situation. We've once again had a tie.
How?
And because of that, we have two options facing us, which is that we can either re-enter a round of discussion with the potential of swaying someone's vote and then do a re-vote, or we can say that there was no election today. And I personally don't want to say that there was no election today. So I would entertain a motion to reopen discussion. Motion.
Second.
All right, there we go. We're going to reopen discussion. This discussion may last as long as it needs to until people are willing to vote. But Senator Demenji.
Yeah, so me today I'm going to be voting for candidate Jordan because he mentioned that he's planning to work on the affordable apartments off campus and transportation as well. And he is an international student who is liking car services. I find it very important to work on transportation. We all know we have free buses circulating for students around Mankato, but still, I think our transportation needs a lot of improvements. And yeah, so today I'm going to be voting for candidate Jordan.
Thank you very much. Ben, did you say you wanted to move later?
No.
Okay, then go right ahead,
Speak
President Zelmer.
Okay, so I was taking a couple notes, and here's my notes of the two candidates. So for Sydney, I wrote down about working to help groups and individuals in the past, as well as creating a safe space for BIPOC students. For Jordan, I wrote down about the affordable housing and transportation as well. They're both very even on the, like, they've reached out and they're trying to get engaged with Senate. So, sorry, I thought I saw a hand. Knowledge for off-campus experience. I really enjoyed how Jordan really talked about reaching out to students where they live, where they're at, trying to hear their voice and bringing their voices to the table. Senator Roberts, I know you brought that up, but it was not mentioned in the presentations. So that's what stood out to me for Jordan. I also think that on the diversity issue, what really stands out to me is, I want to hear what people say and bring them through, as well as what the question about RSO, not duplicating services, not stepping on RSO's toes. I feel like often student government can sometimes be seen as like higher up. Although we speak for students, it is not our job to tell RSOs what to do or to duplicate what they're already doing. It's our job to help make sure they have the resources they need and to support them what they're doing. So I really enjoyed what he shared about ensuring that we aren't duplicating what people are doing and supporting the groups that are around, especially those that represent different, like diverse student groups. I yield.
Thank you very much. Senator Blanchard.
I would like to speak to voice my support for candidate Jordan. I believe that what they're doing in the off-campus that they're living, that is Highland, that's already primarily student housing. I don't know anybody who lives in Highland that doesn't go to the university. I don't know why you'd want to. But I think that's awesome because there's a lot of people out there who it'd be nice if their voices could be heard. But again, maybe they don't have the transportation to come to a Senate meeting, or maybe they just don't know about the opportunities that are there. So that's why I will be supporting candidate Jordan today.
Thank you very much. Senator Roberts.
I've kind of established why I have a heavy support for Sydney DeMond. I think that she is a stronger candidate, has a lot of experience to go off of, and a lot of unique experiences that she can place in the Senate. I've already mentioned that within their own application, they talked about some really specific plans to help students who may not have access to internet, or at least quality internet, which I think is a core element in terms of academic success and coming to success. But I'm also pretty sure that both candidates have a lot of great plans across, but I do think that Sydney Dumond really takes the cake here, especially when it comes to diversity discussions. And I think that's a really critical element, especially considering our discussions when it comes to Equity 2030, but also equity across the board, in my view. However, I do want to throw out a motion to open up the second questioning to allow us to have more time to further question and to further clarify anything that we might need to still ask to better make this decision.
Do we have a second on that motion?
Yeah.
Seeing no second, the motion dies. I'm sorry. Then in that case, Senator Ziegfeld.
I would just like to say once again that both candidates are great. So thankful to have all of you here today. But today I will be supporting once again candidate Dumond, just because I believe of their consistent advocacy for students. And as an off-campus student myself that does not have Wi-Fi right now, I think that's something that definitely is very, very important, definitely needs to be addressed. And then something that I really value as well is the consistent involvement on campus. I think that that's something, while it might not have been at this university, previous engagement has me sold, and I believe that they'd be the best fit for the job.
Thank you very much. Senator Sharaf.
Today's discussion is very intense, and I want to say that I think that Sydney is a very strong candidate. However, she does very different things and very much of them, and she has to do her job, being a TA, and also do her studies. So today I'll be supporting Jordan as a candidate for this position because he has also have the skills and he can develop with us as a teamwork, as he mentioned, and he has more abilities to do that regarding time. And that's it.
Thank you very much. I will ask that people refrain from considering outside involvement as a barrier for entry here, because I like to believe that when people say that they are able to fill the time constraints, that I will take them at their word for it. However, I do recognize the concern, but please refrain from using outside involvement as a barrier for entry. Senator Wing.
I'd just like to voice my support for candidate Jordan. Being a former off-campus senator myself, I've seen firsthand the impact that rising rent prices have on our community, and especially having non-reliable access to transportation. So that is why I will be supporting candidate Jordan today.
Thank you very much. With that exhausts my speakers list. Do we have any other points of discussion or any motions?
Call a question.
Motion called to question. Is there a second? Second, any dissent to calling the question? Very well. Then in that case, we will go into another round of voting. Please write. Yes. Please write whether you are in favor of candidate Sydney Dumont, Jordan Mueller, abstaining, or if you are voting no confidence.
That was a good shot. That was a great shot.
That's true.
What was that shot? What were you thinking, Kyle?
Okay, no. No, that's okay. You can go ahead.
I think we should do another presentation on how essentially is supporting constituents unless you have a real reason to say
Vice President.
I'm trying to make it easy for you.
I know you can use them whenever, but it just takes a while. That's the reason there was ever a vote on the dome fee is because half the Senate abstained. I think you would no.
Why were you giggling at me earlier?
So that's the reason it even went to the student-wide vote.
Class started 5 minutes. I emailed her saying I'm going to play this.
You know it.
See, I wonder if something's voting stops. That could be happening.
Are you voting? You shady ass. Speaking in support of voting no confidence.
No,
Tell her.
no, I did not do it. You can clearly see because I wrote it.
Oh, I did not watch.
Before I announce who the winner is, I would like to reiterate that this was a very close election for a very good reason. These are two extremely good candidates, and DJ was also an extremely good candidate. And even if you were not elected, I highly encourage continuing to get involved, and we will also likely have more vacancies in the future. So I recommend keeping an eye posted, and hopefully we can see you back here. But with that being said, we have had an election, and we have chosen as a body to elect candidate Jordan Mueller. So I will ask that you please stand and take the podium, and we will swear you in.
Do you have the oath?
I do have the oath.
No shame.
One sec. Let me. Watch me not have it on my notes now anymore. All right, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jordan Mueller,
Will represent and serve.
Will represent and serve
The students of Minnesota State University, Mankato.
The students of Minnesota State University, Mankato.
In student life and academic needs.
In student life and academic needs.
And will uphold the mission.
And will uphold the mission.
Constitution and bylaws.
Constitution and bylaws.
Of the student government.
Of the student government.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
Congratulations. Welcome to Senate. You may now join us at the table, though there is not a whole lot left for this meeting today. On the topic of vacancies, while it is... Oh, yes. Oh, I feel so bad. While it is... While it is unfortunate to end the high on some sour news, I have been asked to announce that we have a resignation of Senator Hansen from residential life. Thank you very much for your service, though I understand that it is sometimes time to move on. So we will have an opening for residential at-large community senator, and...
Since it's been on the agenda, we can do it.
Yeah, since it's been on the agenda, this can keep rolling and will not require the 2 weeks of open time. We do not have any new business. We do not have any old business. So we will move into announcements before we allow it to everybody. I'm so sorry, but I'm first going to pass it over to Dean Flannery because I horribly apologize for not allowing you to speak during my speaker's report. But Dean Flannery of the College of Business, everyone.
Well, I am just so impressed with all of you. This was extraordinary to watch, your engagement and your professionalism. And as we were talking about about student government, I've been able to watch student government for almost 26 years because I've been on campus that long. And truly, you all are very impressive. And I just really wish you the best in making huge differences for our campus and for students in the coming year. So I know that this is a long meeting, so I'm not going to provide a whole lot of updates. I am pleased to have 3 College of Business terrific senators, and in fact just met this morning with Senator Victor and Senator Mariana, and I know that they're going to do great things. Just very briefly, I will just say the College of Business really prides itself on being the most outstanding business school, without a doubt, the flagship business school within Minnesota State University system. And we have a magazine that we produce every year. This year, our theme was Mavericks, and I believe that you all are Mavericks. And there's actually research around the characteristics of a Maverick, which the 5 characteristics of a Maverick are that you are curious, you're risk takers, you're creative, goal-focused, and disruptors. There's a group of researchers in Australia that are really interesting to read about. So I want to encourage you to keep on being Mavericks. I'll come back another time and tell you what some of our priorities are in the College of Business this year. But I want to end by passing out a small gift for all of you. We have cheeses. That's not writing. But there's a pretty cool reusable straw with a little cleaner. Yeah. And so that those, I think there's enough for everyone in here. And if you don't need that, but you need a really nice pen with a tip that you can use on your phone, there's some of those in there as well. So thank you for having me, and thank you so much for the great work that you do. You're just really impressive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your great work. But before you go, I'm aware that President Zelmer has a quick statement.
Yeah, so I just wanted to thank you for your service to Minnesota State University, Mankato. I was on Senate the year, this was I feel old on the Senate. Anyways, the year that we passed a resolution to try to get textbooks in sooner. And the College of Business, because of your work, was the first to get all of their textbooks in, so students would have an idea of textbook costs before they had to take the class and couldn't unregister. So you have always been dedicated to students, working with student government, and respecting the motions that we make. So I want to thank you for that. And whenever I do give tours, and this is not an official statement of the student government or the admissions office, but the College of Business is my favorite college to brag about. So thank you very much for your service here.
That means an awful lot. Well, thank you so much, Madam President. And your leadership is extraordinary, and truly, I mean, the students we have at our university are really the reason many of us feel so proud of what the work that we're doing. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And in that case, Senator Parikh.
Hello all, I'm here on behalf of Communications and Marketing from ID Solutions. Brian touched upon this, so happy Cybersecurity Month all of you again. We'll be tabling the next week's Thursday and the coming 2 Tuesday after that. So be cyber smart Mavericks, and as senators we have a lot of confidential data that we need to take care of. So again, happy Cybersecurity Month y'all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Senator Wing?
So, as a senator of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention some of the fine arts things going on this month. So, this weekend is the closing weekend for High School Musical, put on by our theater department. They have showings Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a matinee on Sunday. Tickets are $5 for students. As a senator, though, you have actually gotten access to a free ticket. So there is no excuse for not wanting to go. So go support other Mavericks and our theater department as well.
I'll be there Friday. You want to come with me? We can all go as a group.
I'm sorry, Emma, but I've got to call you out of order.
Oh.
I get to do the thing.
Yes. Sorry.
But also on October 30th, that is a Sunday, there will be a choir concert held at St. John the Baptist Catholic Church down on South Broad Street. We'd love to see more Mavericks there. I know our new choral director is really trying to get more students engaged and bringing some more Maverick pride to our choral department. So that will be on October 30th. That's a Sunday at 3 p.m. at St. John the Baptist Catholic Church.
Thank you very much. I'm going to jump John up in the speakers list so you don't have to keep holding your hand up.
Thank you, Speaker Novak. Just a few announcements. The Student Activities Office has a few events coming up. There will be a drive-in movie, Thor, Love and Thunder, or whatever it's called, this weekend. That's Friday. Also, for those of you who aren't aware, our office has had a vacancy since midsummer when Emmy Menk, the Assistant Director for RSO's Leadership and Non-Traditional Students, left the institution. Tomorrow we have a finalist interviewing on campus for that position. There is an open community session from 10:45 to 11:45 a.m. in Morris Hall 209. And so that is open to anybody. So if you are part of RSOs or leadership programming or are interested in hearing from a finalist for that position, please feel free to attend that session tomorrow. Again, 10:45 to 11:45 a.m. in Morris Hall 209. So that's all I have this week.
Thank you. Senator Roberts.
Katie said it earlier, but just keeping it all on your radar once again. On Saturday and Sunday this weekend, we have the Larry Schnorr. Please come and support some of your fellow Mavericks, but also come and check out what we do. Thank you all. I yield.
Thank you. Senator Larson.
Yeah, so I will be tabling in the CSU on Friday from 11 to 2. If you're still looking for office hours before you submit them to STORM, come hang out with me. It'll be really fun.
Sweet. What a wonderful use of office hours. We love getting people registered to vote. Do we have anyone else for announcements before we go? Anyone else? Oh, Edmund.
Yes, I have a quick announcement. Mr. Brian Schneider, I hope I'm saying his name right. He left early, but there was an announcement he wanted to make, so he wanted me and Emma to do it. So the city of Mankato is, I'm reading this word to word, so. The city of Mankato is developing an affordable housing action plan to determine affordable housing need in community. So they will be having a discussion held this Tuesday, October 11, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. It will be first floor of the Intergovernment Center, Central Plaza. So the topic expected to be covered including homelessness, senior housing, rental housing, and other housing needs. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
Try my best.
President Zelmer.
All right, so for the new senators, congratulations. You'll be getting an email from me with a little form to fill out, as well as we'll be setting up a time to chat one-on-one just to go over Senate stuff and answer any questions you have and talk about fun project things. Other than that, I forgot to give a shout out to RHA and our residential life leaders. They won the bid for the Regional Leadership Conference for McCurr, which is a really big deal. We haven't hosted that in a really long time. So they had a successful weekend last weekend hosting from all over the Midwest region. So congratulations to them. That's all I have to say.
Amazing. Thank you very much. I know we're all itching to get out of here. Do we have any other announcements? Any other announcements? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and, is this a motion?
Motion by roll call.
All right, then in that case, this meeting is officially adjourned 6:17 p.m. Literally just got a text. I think
I